equations with variables on each side, so this is what you're going to solve. So you're going to solve, you got 2 plus 5k on one side and 3k minus 6. The first thing I want to do is I want to get k on the same side. I want to get the variable on the same side. So what I do is I look for the smaller one, 5k or 3k, and I want to move the smaller one because I want it to be positive. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes you're going to get a negative variable, and I'll show you what to do if you have that. But most of the time, if you move the smaller one, you're going to get a positive variable. So I'm going to subtract 3k to both sides, which cancels the 3k out. 5k minus 3k is 2k. I'm also, in the same step, I'm going to subtract 2. I want to get k by itself, so I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. Just gets rid of that. Leaves me with 2k is equal to negative 8. Is everybody with me? Everybody understand?
No.
So now I can solve for k. I divide by 2 because I was timesing by 2. I divide by 2. K is equal to negative 4. Any questions? Alright, so we got 5a plus 2 equals 6 minus 7a. So I want to get the variable on the same side. So what I do is I like to move the smallest one. Is 5a smaller or negative 7a smaller?
Negative 7.
Negative 7a is the smallest one. So to undo subtracting by 7a, I'm going to add 7a. 5 plus 7a is 13a. In the same step, I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides to get rid of it because I want to get a by itself. So right now I've got 13a is equal to 4. Because 6 minus 2 is 4. Everybody agree? No. Excuse me, this should be 12, not 13. Kyle said it wrong. So I'm timesing by 12, so I divide by 12 to move it. So I do what I do one side, do the other. A is equal to 1/3. And there's my answer. All right, before you can solve this, what you have to do is you have to distribute. You have to distribute the 6 out to the 5m and the negative 3, and distribute the 1/3 out to 24 and 12. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. 1/3 of 24. You want to know what a third of 24 is? 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. What's a third of 12? 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now, you guys can go ahead and solve. 30m minus 18 equals 8m plus 4. I want to move m by itself first, so I'm going to subtract 8 to both sides. Because it's positive, I have to subtract it. 30m minus 8m is 22m. I'm also going to add 18 to both sides, which happens to give me 22. So since I'm timesing by 22, I have to divide by 22. M is equal to 1. And there's my answer. If you're not for sure if it's right or not, plug 1 in for m on both sides, and you'll find that they're equal to each other. 8s minus 10 equals 3 times 6 minus 2. First thing I gotta do is distribute. So this side isn't going to change. This side is going to be 18 minus 6s. I want to get s on the same side, so I move a smaller one. Okay, which would be negative 6s. But let's say I don't. Let's say you can't. So I'm subtracting 8s to both sides. Okay, if you did different, don't change it. Okay, it'll work out. I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter what you do. Just that's easier, and you make less mistakes when you do it the other way. And then I'm going to subtract 18 to both sides. So over here I've got negative 28 is equal to negative 14s. Divide by negative 14 to both sides gives me 2. Right? It gave me the same thing as if I had done it the other way. So it shows you it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. The issue is I've seen a lot of people make mistakes when they're dividing by negative and write that as negative 2. Right? Or they forget that that's negative here. They write 14s and get a negative answer, even though that's not right. People make more mistakes when they add negatives to it. So the easiest thing to do is keep it positive by moving this one instead of that one. But again, does it matter? No, you'll get the same answer if you do it right. Any questions? Write this down. All right, there's a couple special solutions where it doesn't work out normally. Okay, what we've been trying to find is like a number for x or a that makes it true on both sides. Sometimes it works out a little different. Right? And I'm going to show you the two different cases here. Excuse me, we got 5x plus 5 equals, I have to distribute the 3 out. That gives me 15x minus 12 minus 10x, which I have to combine the like terms on this side, which what's 15x minus 10x? So I have 5x plus 5, and I've got 5x minus 12. I want to move the x to the same side. It doesn't matter which one, so I'm going to move this one. Subtract 5x to that side. Subtract 5x to that side. Guess what happens? It cancels itself out. I'm left with this. 5 equals negative 12. Is that a true statement?
No.
Does 5 equal negative 12?
No.
No. Will 5 ever equal negative 12?
No.
No. In this case, what happens is there's not a solution. The answer would be no solution. Okay? Or the symbol that they call empty set, meaning x doesn't have an answer. No matter what you put in for x, it won't work out. Right? So x is empty. What that means, empty set. There's nothing you plug in that'll make this true statement. And that's all you're trying to do is what's going to make this true statement. When you get rid of the 5x's, you're left with an untrue statement. So it can't be true. It's no solution. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay, that's one of the special cases. Here's the other. Write that down. This is the other case. Let's work it out. Let me show you what it looks like. I have to distribute the 3 out. That gives me 6b minus 3 minus 7 is equal to 6b minus 10. I combine the like terms. I get 6b minus 10. I get 6b minus 10. Does everybody see something here? Okay, what do you see? They're equal on both sides. So if I was to subtract 6b from one side and move it to the other, again, they cancel each other out, but what do I have? Negative 10 is equal to negative 10. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, when that happens, my answer is all real numbers. The reason that's the answer is because it doesn't matter what you plug in for b. It could be 1, you could plug in 2, you could plug in 10. You can even plug in a negative 1051. And guess what? They're still going to be equal on both sides every time. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what b is. It's going to be true. Because they cancel itself out and they're equal on both sides. So that's why it's all real numbers. Any questions about that? Here's your assignment.